G'day, Geoff Lewis here from Seriously Series, and welcome to another, what are we going to call it, chapter. Let's call it another chapter in the tale, the saga and more that is the engine dramas with the 2.25 litre petrol engine out of the Land Rover Series 3. Today I'm just going to give you a bit of an update as to what's going on, what has been found, and this is going to baffle many of you. So this video comes with a warning. If you have a cup of tea, put it firmly down in front of you. If you've got a milk arrowroot biscuit, you put that down because you're going to lose it in your cup of tea, and place the Lamington to the side, but most importantly, stay tuned. Right, so let's get into it, guys and girls. I've got a bit of a lived-in look in the shed at the moment. I've literally just got back from across the Nullarbor and having done the Adelaide 4-wheel drive adventure show and the Perth 4-wheel drive adventure show, which was a great trip. Great shows, great to meet some of you, but I'll talk about that in another video, because today we're talking about engine dramas. And here I've actually got the 2.25 litre petrol engine that was originally in the Series 3. Probably should have just left it in it in hindsight, but anyway, doesn't matter. So what is happening with the rebuilt Series 3 motor? Well, many of you have asked, and it's actually at a place here in Kalgoorlie called VT Engineering. The team there, it's a small company. They've finally got to it and they're stripping it down, and hopefully in the next month to 6 weeks I might have a motor back, which would be pretty cool, and then I can start running it in again once more for the 3rd time, because it's been rebuilt twice, if you've forgotten or have lost count. So what has happened in stripping down the motor is a few, I'm not even going to call them gremlins, but a few sort of shocking things have sort of come about. And I'm putting it out to you guys and girls just to have a little ponder amongst yourselves, because some of it just doesn't seem right to me. So I'll start at the bottom of the motor and we'll work our way up. So the first thing is the crankshaft. So when you rebuild a motor, you have to pull the crankshaft out, you have to pull the conrods out, you have to pull the pistons out, and so that's what they did. Now in doing that, you've obviously got to take out the rear main seal, which sits at the back of the motor here. Now on these particular engines, they're a 2-piece design, I believe. Haven't had to fit one before, knock on wood, and hopefully never have to. But anyway, they're a 2-piece. So they can be a little bit problematic to actually fit. You really do need to take your time. This is what I've been told. But what was found with the motor that has been causing me all this drama is that there was almost like a lot of silicon gasket sealant in there, like almost like a tube's worth is what I've been led to believe. So that's, I can understand why you would do that. You don't want the seal to fail, but there's a certain point where there's just a little smear and not a massive dollop of it. So that doesn't really sound all that professional to me. The other thing that was found in taking the crankshaft out is all the thrust bearings. So this actually stops the crankshaft moving all the way forward, all the way back. It just allows it to sort of float. And there's a given tolerance of how much it can actually move forward and backwards. And these thrust washers were found to be worn after 1,500 kilometres or 2,000 kilometres down to the copper. Now that kind of wear doesn't happen over 500,000 kilometres pretty much. So that's not right. There's something wrong there. What else? So that was pretty frustrating. The other thing that was found was the actual oil pickup. So you've got the oil pump that's on the bottom of the motor. The oil pickup obviously locates in the actual sump and should be submersed with oil ideally. But the actual pickup is basically like a metal mesh, and it's a square sort of metal mesh, like a sieve almost. And that should be located on a bracket which locates into the actual engine block itself. And that's meant to be fixed, it's meant to be tight, it's meant to be a good seal. As you guessed, none of that. There's no bracket there. The actual engine, the pickup, oil pickup piece, you could just simply rotate it easily by hand. So there's a few theories floating around that that doesn't make a good seal. Airlock could potentially happen in there, and you know, maybe that affects the oil pressure. Don't know. So that was yeah, not ideal. The other thing is all the ring gaps in the actual pistons were all way out, out by like about probably, they should be about 20 thou gap maximum. I think they were closer to 30, which I had been assured shouldn't be an issue. Some of these motors do operate with gaps that big, and they don't burn any oil, but you know, it's a newly rebuilt engine. You know, so that's obviously indicating that the ring gaps either weren't correct to begin with, or they've worn that badly that that's the problem. The other problem is, and the list keeps on going, is the camshaft. And the camshaft runs on the busy side of the motor. So you have your distributor here, you have your oil filter on this side, and you actually have the camshaft that actually runs on this side of the motor, and that drives everything. The camshaft, just like the crankshaft, is held obviously in place, and it needs to have a little bit of movement. And there's actually a retaining bolt on the front of the camshaft. This retaining bolt is then held in place by a lock washer, or essentially like what you get on the hub of your Land Rover, a tin washer that can then be folded over onto the bolt head to stop the bolt head actually turning. Now this bolt was found to be actually hand tight. Not even hand tight, hand loose I should say. So in time the actual bolt would have come loose. There's very little gap between the bolt and the actual timing cover here, so it would have ended up either wearing itself into the actual timing cover, snapping off, and then getting caught in the timing chain, timing gear, and engine failure. There's one more thing that they found too, which was very disappointing. Only one of the core plugs, or the Welsh plugs, had actually been replaced on the entire motor. And that's not really what you expect, you know, for a $7,000 engine rebuild. So I was a bit disappointed with that. More so, the actual water jacket of the motor too, it's been found that it's just full of mud and rust, which isn't what I would expect from an engine reconditioning joint. I would have thought they would have like acid dipped the actual motor itself and got everything out of it. So there's a lot of questions there still, a lot of questions still. I'm very thankful that I've been able to, you know, have a good honest fella to rebuild it at this point, but I'm not jumping to any conclusions as of yet. I've spoken to, or a lot of people have asked about this, and they're very much of the mind that I need to get a big fire, put a big pole in the middle and start crucifying people, but I don't think that's going to solve the problem. I'm going to wait until the motor's actually all put together, and then hopefully, knock on wood, it runs in okay, and then I'm going to obviously approach them. I'll give them updates along the way, and by them I mean the original engine establishment that did the work. But either way, if it's going to keep going the way it is, I'll be asking for my money back, because I don't care who you are or what you think you can do. The fact is, if you're operating a business, as I do, multiple businesses, the whole point of a business is to provide a service. And if you can't provide that service, then don't advertise the fact that you can. It is that simple. But anyway, there's no need for me to rant. That's the story, that's the status, that's where we're at. And yeah, hopefully things improve, because I'm really, really sick and tired, and I'm honest, of looking at this vehicle here. It's been close to over 3 years and I still haven't got a motor that works. Yeah. And hindsight can tell you all kinds of things. Oh, you should have got another motor to put in it, and da 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 da. We never know what's around the corner, guys and girls. So anyway, that's what's going on there. I've just had some bad luck, and I've had some bad luck with the Land Rover Series 2. The gearbox has recently been rebuilt and now it's failed. It's pumping vast sums of oil from the transfer case to the gearbox. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but I just don't seem to have much luck. But anyway, thank you all very much for your support. Thank you all very much for your comments and providing advice, and more so putting it up there for other people to look at. And that's the whole point of this. And that's why I'm not flying off the hook getting angry at people. It's about putting it out there, so if someone has these similar problems, you know what to look for, and you know hopefully not what to do. So yeah, anyway, I'll let you be. Good luck with your projects, and yeah, if you're enjoying the channel here at Seriously Series, please subscribe. It makes a big difference. Give us a thumbs up for support, and please do support Seriously Series on Patreon. All proceeds go to the production of these videos, and obviously sorting out this mess and more. So jump on over there, see if it's for you, and we'll catch you in the next video. See you then.